and it's an honor for me to be here. I've been following the program since its beginning and supporting Daryl and supporting young ladies like you who have participated before. And what I do, I'm actually a cybersecurity specialist, but I'm a mom first. And I am the mother of two 26-year-old twin girls who have graduated from Bennett College. And part of the process of getting them into college was me taking the time to make sure that their financial future was secured. And by putting two students through college at the same time, there was a bunch of debt that I was going to have in pursuing their education. I must say that we didn't see historical Black college really being in their future immediately. They applied and received applications and interviews from Princeton, Swarthmore, as well as Georgetown University here in Washington, D.C. So I say that because our intentions was that they was going to go to an Ivy League school. But Bennett got their attention because they felt as though that they were not a number, but they was a name. They was a person, a people, a somebody. And Bennett really recognized them for who they were and what attributes that they had and what they felt they could offer the university as a student. So I'm here today to share some of the success that we had in obtaining scholarships. I would like this meeting to be as comfortable and even informal as possible, that you could ask the questions no matter how hard or how simple that you may think they are. I want to give you the answers. Imani and Sierra graduated in 2018, and after they graduated, their friends and many nieces and nephews asked me to support them to also secure scholarships. So I have secured over 100 scholarships between Imani and Sierra and family and friends. So I'm hoping I could give you the right information that you need so that you could at least just win one. So would you like to go around and tell me what high schools you're coming from and what colleges you hope to go to?
I'm Naya Brown. I'm Miss Kentucky. I attend River Rouge High School, and I plan on going to the Kentucky State University, majoring in criminal justice with a majoring in social work with a minor in criminal justice.
Hi, my name is Sani Lacoma. I'm Miss New Jersey, and I'm actually homeschooled. My top choice university is Howard University, and I would like to study broadcast journalism with a minor in strategic legal communications, and I hope to run a broadcast media company one day.
Hi, my name is Nadia Grant Webster. I attend Granby High School in Norfolk, Virginia. My dream college is North Carolina Central University, and with the hopes of majoring in criminal justice and a minor in psychology.
Hi, I'm Tanaya. I'm Miss Arkansas. I go to New Hampstead High School in Savannah, Georgia. I plan on, my top college at the moment is Spelman, and I plan on going for criminal justice, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Jacaylee Minor, and I'm Miss Mississippi. You said you had I'm twins. I'm also a twin sister. So I understand how you feel about having guilt, because that's how my mom is between us. But I plan on attending either Howard University or Texas Southern University to get my Master's of Business Administration degree, and then I want to go to law school to get my Juris Doctorate so I can become a business lawyer.
Hi, my name is Sabina Woodley. I'm Miss New Hampshire. I attend Star Early College at Erasmus Hall in New York. My top college is also Howard, and I want to double major in political science and creative writing.
Hi, my name is Javen Buford, and I am Miss Georgia HBCU teen, and I attend Sandy Creek High School in Tyrone, Georgia. And I plan to major in kinesiology and minor in dance to become a dance physical therapist specializing in dancers.
Hi, I'm Janaya Joseph. I am Miss District of Columbia. I'm coming from Needham High School in Massachusetts, and I plan to attend Howard University or Spelman College, majoring in psychology and potentially minoring in business or biology. I'm still kind of going between the two.
Hi, my name is Shayla. I'm Miss South Carolina. My top two colleges are FAMU and NCAP. I want to major in either biology or chemistry on the pre-med track.
Hi, my name is Jada Rapier. I am Miss Hawaii. I'm currently undecided of where I want to go to at the moment, but I do want to major in business administration. I currently attend Garfield High School in Seattle, Washington.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I attend Sussex Central High in Georgetown, Delaware, and I plan on attending Delaware State University, majoring in aviation. And I'm thinking about minoring in hospitality and tourism, but I am kind of undecided about that at the moment.
My name is Jade Wilson. I am Miss Texas, and I currently go to Northside High School located in Houston, Texas. And I would like to major in business administration. And the school I would like to go to is North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University.
Well, thank you. I appreciate meeting all of you. I have an open door policy. And so I'm happy to share my personal email address with you. So if you have any questions after we go through this workshop on scholarships, feel free to email me. It typically takes me 24 hours to get back with you, but I will answer your questions. Okay, so I really want to get started with really explaining what is a scholarship. And I say that because we know that it could be funded, but it could be funded several ways. It could be a grant or a payment of any sort towards a student's education. It's an award based on academic and or other achievements. There's so many scholarships that are offered to students that often is not applied to. So literally what they're saying is that in the United States, students are not applying to scholarships that's being offered. There's thousands upon thousands of scholarships that you can apply to, but it takes time. And so what I want to offer you is the statement of, are you prepared to secure your financial freedom? Student loans are very expensive. Going to college is very expensive. And oftentimes we're left with debt and having to repay back these student loans. And so a way to offset that is through scholarship. There's so many ways to take advantage of scholarships through opportunities of building relationships, doing community service, and really understanding what your financial obligation would be. But more importantly, understanding what your worth is, educationally or by a gift or talent that you have. And so I hear so many different career choices that you would like to go in and pursue. And there's scholarships that you can apply for right now, even if you haven't declared a major. I heard medical, law or legal scholarships, sociology, psychology, aviation. There's scholarships that you can apply to simply because you're interested in going into those career fields. So a lot of times, foundations or organizations, they want people to become nurses or doctors or aviators. So they will put scholarships out there under those subject titles for people to apply for them. So you can literally go to Google search and say, okay, I want to look for a scholarship on aviation, and there's going to be scholarships listed. You could go to whatever your hometown or state or city is and look for scholarships within those hometowns based on those subjects. It's a free for all with the World Wide Web and looking for scholarships. So that's one way. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Sonia, Miss New Jersey, and my question is, so when you're talking about scholarships that can line up with your interests, in terms of scholarships that are for people who want to go into a major with that interest and people who are just interested in that area, how can you differentiate between the two? So are they gonna just say like you can only apply to this if you plan to go into a major for it, or is that like in fine print somewhere?
So typically it's not. So for instance, on a website that I'm going to introduce you to tonight, you're a senior in high school going into your freshman year. A lot of people don't declare their major their freshman year. Some people don't even know what area interest they have. It's just an idea or a thought. So say for instance, if I wanted to apply for a scholarship because I think I want to be an attorney, then my hope and dream is that I want to be an attorney. So I'm going to apply for scholarships related to law. But at the end of the day, when I actually declare my major or I get into my junior year or even my senior year, I've already received that scholarship for my freshman year. They don't take it back. It's just that I now have a different interest. So really, it's just a hope that you would actually go into that particular field. And a lot of times, if you win in a scholarship in a specific subject area, more than likely, you probably will pursue that particular career field. That's a wonderful question. I always say, if there's a scholarship that you think you could win, no matter what it's for, apply. I would let them tell me otherwise. So you have academic scholarships, you have sports scholarships, all type of sports scholarships, home economic scholarships, scholarships because you volunteered or you just did a great job and someone thought you was wonderful because you showed up doing something. There's so many different categories of scholarships you can apply for. All of them are available to you. You don't have to fit a specific criteria specifically to apply for a scholarship. What people do, an organization, for instance, may want to hire a Black female who's going to go into nursing, right? Because we need Black females in nursing. So that's what their scholarship is based on, because that's really what they want to promote. And you may win that scholarship, but they can't hold you to being a nurse. But what they do want to know is that if we give you this scholarship in your freshman year, are you going to waste our time and are you going to waste our money? They want to be sure that you will be able to get to the finish line. That's really the primary thing they want. Regardless of what you end up majoring in or declaring, they just want to make sure that whatever dollars that they put behind you, that you'll see it through and that you actually graduate. That's really what they're looking for. Okay. So how to receive scholarship success is really understanding the scholarship that you're applying for, understanding the organization in which that's offering that scholarship, knowing when to apply, and finding the right scholarship to apply to, meaning the type of scholarships to apply to, and being prepared to apply for those scholarships, because it really does take hard work. So the questions that's more likely asked about scholarships is, how do I apply? What kinds of scholarships do I apply to? How do I find scholarships? And what are scholarships worth? These are the questions that are most often asked. What people don't know is that you can start applying to scholarships in elementary school. And we really push for students to start applying for scholarships in the 9th grade. And that may come to a surprise, but they have scholarships that's real easy, where all you have to do is write a poem, draw a picture, create a slogan, and these dollars actually are saved or banked for you to go towards your college education. The types of scholarships we talked about, Any category that you could possibly dream of, you could Google and search that type of scholarship. How to find scholarships? One way I'm going to introduce you to tonight, if you don't already know, is through the United Negro College Fund. If you're going to a historical Black college, the United Negro College Fund is a sure way to be able to find scholarships that probably fit your need. There's a database on their URL that you will go out and create a login to apply for scholarships that's specifically on the United Negro College Fund website. However, many of those scholarships you can also find through a Google search. What are scholarships worth? Some of them are as little as $25, and many of them will give you a full ride for college, meaning they'll pay for everything related to your tuition, to your room and board, as well as fees. Some scholarships may only pay for tuition. Some scholarships may only pay for books, but some scholarships may only pay for your transportation costs getting back and forth to school. What I say is that no scholarship is too small to apply to. Okay. When to apply? If you haven't applied, this is the right time to apply. A website such as United Negro College Fund will allow you to search the type of scholarships that fit your need. But whatever scholarship that you apply to, you want to understand who is offering the scholarship. You want to know a little bit about that foundation or that organization or that person who's offering a scholarship. What's the cause or what's their cause? Is it about community service or education? Is it about a mentorship type scholarship? The reason you want to know about the person or organization offering a scholarship, because you really want to write to that in your essay. If someone emphasis or cause is to feed the hungry, then you want to also do that. You want to say that you have an interest of making sure children across the world is fed. If someone basis is they want someone who's in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, then you want to make sure that that's an interest of your own as well, because they want to give money to like-minded people or like-minded students to carry on their dream. Okay. You also want to stand out as being unique. You want to show your passionate side or your personal side. Sometimes if you have your parents looking over your essays and you got a little too personal and you may be telling business like, I really need this scholarship because I want to help my family support my education because, you know, a parent lost a job or a family member, you know, fell on hard times, or we have suffered and we may even had to live in a shelter or in a car or suffered some type of hard time. Sometimes you really do want to write about your own personal experience. It's heartfelt, it's true, and sometimes it's a tearjerker, and that oftentimes is what a scholarship foundation or panel want to know, your true side. They want to know that you really have compassion and they want to have empathy for you, and therefore they will give you the money. Oftentimes it may be hard to write about those things, but your experience, and you may not have those type of experiences, but you may have the experience where I'm a twin and I know the financial difficulties of raising multiple children, and I want to help my family secure my education. That may be the story that you want to write about. But you also may come from more of a wealthy background and don't have those negative things, but you still want to stand out perhaps on your experience of a person. I'm dedicated to completing my education because I want to do or be XYZ. And in order for me to achieve those goals, I want to secure a scholarship to help me build my own foundation. So there's many ways that you could write a essay for a scholarship, but you want to be personal, you want to be passionate, and you want people to know who you are in your writing. The last thing you want to do is wait till the last minute. But when you receive feedback, or if you receive a scholarship, what is almost as important as the essay is the thank you note or thank you letter from you receiving the scholarship. Writing effective scholarships includes keeping up with those essays that have been graded by your teachers, that you receive accolades on, that you felt that was already well written. Scholarships often ask the same questions that you've had to answer in homework assignments. You know, who's your mentor? What you want to be when you grow up? What's your view on community service? Those type of essays that you may write for an English class or even a history class or any other academic course you may have, you want to stockpile those essays so that when it's time to write a scholarship essay, you could go back to a paper that you've already written and edit it for the essay. Okay. You also want to write, as I talked about already, true life experiences. I emphasize that essays can be used over and over again. So once you have a real fine-tuned essay, you want to go out and find other scholarships that have that same theme or same type of question and just tweak that tweak that essay for that particular scholarship. So therefore, you just building on or editing the same essay over and over again, almost until where it becomes perfect. It's almost applying for a job. If 1 week you want to be a teacher, your resume is going to be related to things of your experience related to teaching, right? The next week, if you want to apply for a different job in a whole nother career field, your resume would write to that. The same thing for your essays. You just want them to speak about who you are, your true life story, and you tweak it to the foundation that's offering the essay, to what they believe in or their cause, and then you're tweaking it for who you are. Any questions so far? Yes, ma'am.
I'm from Miss New Jersey, and I plan on attending Howard University. And my question is about in terms of having people review your essays. So I have a couple of college counselors and guidance counselors who I've spoken to about this topic, and I've gotten mixed feedback about whether I should have my parents look over essays or have like a peer who's good at writing look over it, or have a guidance counselor or a teacher look over it. So in your opinion, who do you think the best person to look over the essay would be? And is there a line where it's too many people who have looked at the essay? Because when I was writing my personal statement to apply to schools, I heard a lot of mixed feedback, and I feel like that same conflict applies when I'm writing my scholarship essays, because sometimes I'm unsure about who the best person to look at it might be.
All right. I know exactly what you mean. That's a very good question. And so I'm a parent, but this is my honest opinion. My mother could not look over my essays. She couldn't look over my children's essays because I consider her old school. She felt as though it was too personal. They was telling too much detail information. But depending upon the organization, that's why I say you really need to know who you're writing to, so you could determine who your team is going to be. So for instance, if it's a STEM essay, and if certain people are not necessarily scientific or engineering mindset, then you may not necessarily want them to be the ones that look over that particular essay. But if it's about community service or something more heartfelt, you may want another group of people to look over the essay. But what's important is that you have a group of people. I tend to believe in getting a support group that's not your peers. One, all of you are getting ready finish the 12th grade year right now. Everybody's extremely busy. Your peers should be doing the same thing that you're doing, more than likely, right? So you don't have time to spend on looking at somebody else's essay because you need to be concentrating on your own, right? So you want to kind of go up to another level to maybe college students or older siblings or parents or teachers or community service people, your church advocates. You want to find a group of people who can support you. And you do want to make sure that they are able to check your grammar, check your spelling, make sure there's no run-on sentences. You want to make sure a person is able to do that for you. And you do want multiple people to look at your essay. You want to fine tune it. And so that's why I go back to, if you save those assignments throughout your 9th grade through your 12th grade year that you had to write for different English class or literature classes or history, they already have been corrected and looked at, right? So then if you build upon them, even if those same teachers are looking at it or counselors or some other member, then you should be able to have a product that's good enough to submit for essay. But you want to make sure that when you submit a essay for a scholarship, it has no errors in it. I mean, simple errors. You want to make sure it's very well written. So I probably didn't answer your question thoroughly as much as you want me to do, because there's really no right or wrong, but you just want to really carefully think about who you think is going to best support your thoughts, your opinion, and you do not want to become stressed completing these essays. And the more you do, and the more you fine tune your essay, the easier it will become.
Yes, hi, my name is Miss Kentucky. As far as grants, no, I've been trying to look some up and find some, but how exactly do I write a grant out? Because I've talked to teachers about them and they told me that it's different from writing a scholarship with a grant. How do I go about writing my grants?
Oh, your grants?
Mm-hmm.
I am not an expert in writing grants, but if you email me, I'll get an answer for you.
Okay, thank you
So
so much.
grants are different from writing scholarships. So now you're talking about a financial based need. And now you want to show what your need is and then prove how you're going to actually spend that money, right? A scholarship, you're talking to a theme or a subject, or you're answering a question. And then someone else is deciding if you'd be the best person to spend that money on towards a scholarship. So it's really specific. Does that help?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I'll make sure that Ms. Essence get my email address out to you all. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is, have you really put in the work to find scholarships? They're right underneath your nose. You may have done community service, and most companies that offer community service offer scholarships. You could get scholarships just based on you volunteering. If you are in any sports or academic clubs, they typically have scholarships in those categories. Your church and organizations outside of school, they typically offer scholarships. Your high school, especially if you go to a charter school or private school, they also have scholarships. You also want to contact your guidance counselors, or you may have a college representative at your high school. Ask them what scholarships came out. Oftentimes, people of the public will provide scholarships to local high schools that perhaps that they attended. And oftentimes, counselors will hold these scholarships for quote unquote special need, or the person that they think is like the cream of the crop or the valedictorian. But if you ask them if there's a scholarship that you can apply for, they are supposed to provide the information. Also, the colleges that you are applying to, you could reach out to those financial offices and ask them what special scholarships that they have that you can apply to that may not have been written on their website or in their application. Because again, public people will go to these universities and high schools and say, hey, I want to give money because my mother went to this high school or this college. Or there's some kind of academic event and they want to provide funding to a student with a special need. So oftentimes, the only way you hear about it is when you go to that college, university, or counselor and ask them for the information. Okay. So also I want to talk about scholarships right underneath your nose. You may not know about it. Anybody heard of Foot Locker? You shopped at Foot Locker, it's a sneaker store. So Imani is here, those are my twins' names. They both have won scholarships from Foot Locker. So who would have known? I didn't even know that they had a scholarship. But stores like this offer scholarships and you do not even have to shop there. You could go online and look for Foot Locker scholarship. You can look at, if you eat at fast food restaurants such as KFC, McDonald's, Popeyes, they all offer scholarships. You could go online and find it. As a matter of fact, KFC gives out hundreds of dollars, between $3,000 to $4,000 dollars in scholarships every year. McDonald's gives scholarships to high school seniors, but you could be up to the age of 21 to still apply for those scholarships. And that's through McDonald's. And even restaurants such as Denny's have educational scholarships as well. These are like easy scholarships that you can apply for. And some of them not a full ride, but once you start applying for so many scholarships, taking that one essay or maybe 3 essays and keep applying them to these different places, that money can add up. And don't forget, the first thing I said, that so many students are not applying for scholarships. All right, so I'm in the federal government. I work for U.S. Department of Navy, NAVSEA. I'm a cyber technology specialist, communications manager, and small business advocate. When I first was supporting my children and applying for scholarships, I worked at Department of Homeland Security. They had scholarships just because I was a federal employee and my children wasn't going to college. So they was able to apply for a scholarship that my agency had. So if your parents work in the federal government or city or local government, you could ask them to check at work to see if there's scholarships that their students can apply to. The gas station, Texaco, Shell, A+, whatever the local gas station in your area, look it up. They offer scholarships to students. If you live in a community that have an HOA, that means Home Owners Association, they have a scholarship. If you go to church, no matter what denomination, typically they have a scholarship that you can apply to as well. And oftentimes you don't necessarily have to be a member of that church, but they want you to attend that church. So there's a difference. So some of them are member-based, meaning you have to be a member or your parent have to be a member of that church, or it could be a church that you just happen to attend and they offer scholarships to their students. Apply to those. Definitely apply to the HOA and the church scholarships. Okay. If you worked a summer internship, build a relationship with those people that you worked the internship. Always consider going back to them. It may have been the worst job ever, but consider it. Because oftentimes if you repeat internships and you do a good job, you could go to them and say, hey, I'm applying to this school. They may have went to that school or they may show interest in you, and then they could offer you a cash award. And that's not necessarily scholarship based, that's building relationships. How many of you have, by the raise of hand, already applied for scholarships? How many of you have already applied for 10 or more scholarships? 20 or more scholarships? How many of you know that if you apply for scholarships now as a senior in high school, that you can keep applying for scholarships all the way through post-grad? So wonderful. So while you're applying for scholarships now to get into your freshman year, don't stop applying for scholarships. You can apply for scholarships every year until you think you have attained enough money to cover your financial need. So Imani and Sierra, they received several scholarships going into their freshman year, but we kept applying. And so they would receive 3,000 here, 4,000 here. And so each time that would pay for a semester or pay for a room and board, it would pay for something. So literally we got enough money where basically I sent 2 to school for the price of 1, pretty much over 4 years. The reward came when we learned that United Nickel College Fund have scholarships for graduate students, so people who have completed their undergraduate, they can then still apply for scholarships that will go back and pay for money towards their student loans.
I just want to jump in.
Yeah.
It happened for me. I was at Columbia and had a full ride and ended up having, I think, $7,000 or $8,000 that was just money in my pocket because I got it through the UNCF. They said if you were going to school in New York, all you had to do was be an HBCU grad.
Mm-hmm.
She's telling you the truth.
It happened. Thank you, Daryl. Right, so there it is. So, okay, so it's very important to keep applying. It does take work, but you have to really consider the next 4 years of your life as a business, as a financial business. You want to make sure that you have financial freedom so that you are not stuck with having to pay a whole lot of money in student loans for your education. And one way of doing that is applying for scholarships, no matter how large or how small. United Nickel College Fund even have a scholarship, I think it's called the General Scholarship. That means if you apply, I think you get $250. $250 these days will cover one book, especially if you're in engineering, scientifics, or a doctorate major. Your books may be very expensive. So you just want to apply for the simple ones. No scholarship is too small to apply to. Okay. Also, if you win a scholarship, read the fine lines. Because you won it the first year, you may automatically can obtain that scholarship the next year, but you have to reapply for it. They'll give you it, they'll give it back to you again. So some scholarships have multiple years tied to them. Okay, so know what type of scholarship you're applying to. Understand the date, the due date when the applications are due. Make sure you're following clear instructions for what qualifies you, not qualify you, what you need to do to qualify to submit the scholarship. But when it comes to financial need, don't talk yourself out of applying for a scholarship because you think your parents make too much money. Apply for the scholarship and let them tell you that you don't qualify because your parent make too much money, because that very rarely happens. All right. And then you have to also consider that it's not your money, it's your parents' money, right? You're the one who's really applying for the scholarship, but they say financial based need, but they very rarely will say what that financial based need qualifies you as. So if you want to apply, apply. All right. So I'm going to introduce you to United Nickel College Fund. It's their website. Let me see if I can get, I'll put the URL, I'll make sure Ms. Essence send you the URL for it. So have any of you heard of United Negro College Fund? Okay, So you have to go to United Nickel College Fund website and create an account and log in the password. Once you create that username, login, and password, it will give you details of what you need, information about your community service, any sports or academic or clubs that you've been involved in. You could upload essays there. Then you could go and find certain scholarships that you want to apply for.
My name is Savina Woodley. I'm Miss New Hampshire, and I plan to attend Howard University in the fall. My question is, do our parents have to be a part of the United Negro College Fund for us to apply to the scholarships, or can we just apply?
Absolutely not. No, your parents do not have to be a part of United Nickel College Fund. No. The United Nickel College Fund is a website specifically for students who are applying to historical Black colleges, who want to attend historical Black colleges. Yeah.
My name is Shayla, Miss South Carolina, and my question is, what about the Thurgood Marshall College Fund website as well?
So believe it or not, if you go to United Nickel College Fund, their scholarship is on there as well. So that's a good one. And I have a list of over probably 1,000 different scholarships I will provide to you all. You all can take a look at, and if you have interest to apply. The main thing is, if you build a Excel spreadsheet or wherever you house all your data, make sure you just see what the deadline dates are for the scholarships and the requirements for the scholarship, what you have to write to, so that you could do it timely. So on United Nickel College Fund, once you create an account and you can go look at the different scholarships that they offer, they're going to ask you to upload at least 1 or 2 references. So this is about your people, your group of your team who's going to be available to give you references. You want to make sure the people who are your references are dependable and that they have time. One thing that I did for what I had Imani and Sierra do in the fall of their 12th grade year was write notes to, their favorite teachers and ask them would they be their references, because you have a whole school of students who's graduating with you, right? Who also going to want teachers to be their references. So you want to be the first one in line. So if you haven't done that yet, you want to do that. You want to build relationships with these people at your school or in your community or at your churches who you think can be dependable to be your references. Because once you apply for scholarships, they want to now know who your reference is, and they're going to reach out to them because they want to know that you're going to be dependable if they give you their money. Okay. United Nickel College Fund also offers what they call a college readiness toolkit. So I believe every Tuesday they provide information like a webcam on how to apply for their scholarships. It's an open forum and discussion for high school students to get information about applying for scholarships, what type of scholarships are out there. They will highlight certain scholarships every Tuesday that's available. And so I recommend that perhaps on your own or even as a team, that you all take a look at their Tuesdays workshop or toolkit to get more information about scholarships that you can apply for. Although you can't see it, it starts at number 1. These are all linked to scholarships that's offered. It's 51 scholarships listed here. These scholarships was named for African-American students who are not applying to scholarships. These people said that that we as a Black people was not applying for scholarships. One of them is the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship. That's a full ride scholarship. Xerox Company, you have Black Alliances in Education Scholarship, Rhodes Scholarships at Oxford, Burger King Scholarship Program, the College Board Scholarship Research Fund, Historical Black College and University Scholarship, SS Scholarship, the Maryland Artist Scholarship. So many scholarships not been applied to. Also, another place that you could consider is going to your state senator or state representatives for what state you're in. They also offer scholarships for students. The next slide that Ms. Essence will try to put up for us is just a list, and I think it's over 200 scholarships there that talk about the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship, the Tony Brown Scholarship, scholarship for dance, scholarship for disabilities, distant learning, if you have dyslexia, easy scholarships, entrepreneur scholarships, scholarships based on first in a family to go to college, last dollar awards, legacy scholarships. If you have parents that's in the military, anybody have a parent who's in the military? Ask your parent who's in the military to check and see what funding they could get for you to go to college. They may have some benefits there. And there are also military scholarships. Not that you want to go into the military, but scholarships offered to veterans' children. There are scholarships for even your sexual orientation, specific for men, for moms, for returning students, for single fathers, single parents, single mothers, scholarships for the summer. So oftentimes scholarships do not cover if you want to continue your education and go to school, take summer classes. That's a whole nother pocket of money. So you have to apply for separate funds to go to school during the summertime. Okay, so they have scholarships for summer. There's many scholarships to apply to.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Miss Mississippi HBCU teen, and my question is, were there like two different type of questions? So the first, first, I'm like a dual enrolled student, so I actually graduated with my associate's degree as well with my diploma. So I've been applying to colleges as a freshman, but I don't know if should I have been applying as a transfer student since I would get my degree, or as a freshman, and like do the transfer have more scholarships than the freshman? Or like
so
would you get like a
there's probably more opportunity for you to get scholarship as a freshman. But what I advise you to do for whatever college that you indicated that you're interested in, you need to start talking to those college counselors and getting proper guidance in regards to you transferring, because you want to transfer those credits that you already have to that college, correct? Where you're going. You want to make sure that they are accepting the credits that you have. And so say, for instance, you may have 20 credits, they may only accept 2. If they're not affiliated with the high school or the college that you went to. So you want to make sure you get in front of that and start asking them the right questions, letting them know who you are, what courses you've already completed, that you have associates, and how it would be best applied to your academica, to the college that you're going to. All of you, I recommend all of you to get in contact with the colleges that you're interested in going to. So this is what I told my girls. You want to have a real good feeling of having a college experience. You want to have fun, but I'm not concerned about the fun. I had my years in college and beyond. What I'm telling you, what you really there to do, you there to make friends with those professors and those college advisors, with the work study program people, with the financial office. Those are the people who really should be your friends, because those are the people who's going to get you through the next 4 years. Also, you have to look at it that these institutions are in business to make money. So if you don't go to a class, or if you drop a class, or if you fail to register for a class, you just made them a whole buttload of money because you're going to have to be there either another semester and sometime another year because they're not going to necessarily offer the class that you need when you need it to graduate. So that's more money for them. So you want to really pay attention and get ahead of what courses that you need to take, the number of credits that you need to be able to sustain a full-time academic status, and then exactly how long it's going to take you to complete your college career from your freshman year to a senior year without missing a beat, without spending extra money, and without giving them more of your time. You could do it in 4 years. 9 times out of 10, you could do it in 4 years. But it's a business. You have to really look at it as securing your financial future. And it has to be with a plan. It really does.
Hi, I'm Nadia, Miss West Virginia HBCU teen. I plan on attending North Carolina Central University. And my question is, I went to a charter school for most of high school. But I don't go there anymore. Is it still possible for me I can still apply to scholarships that have to do with charter schools, right? Because I was really heavily involved in it. I was part of lots of things at that school, but now I just go to a regular public school. So if there's scholarships out there for charter school students, I just want to know if I'd be able to apply for them, seeing as I don't go to one anymore.
Okay, so I think not, but I would like to learn more information. So typically when I say, if you went to a private school or charter school, and you want to ask them specifically if they have any scholarships, they probably have those scholarships for students that's graduating from their school. So education is all about numbers. Even in the public school and private school, they want to know that they have educated so many students that they were able to get to the second level of education, right? So oftentimes a charter school, in order for them to maintain funding, they have to show that so many students graduated from underneath them, right? And then they now gone to upper education level. So those scholarships is going to be for that bucket of students, right? But what you can apply to is most charter schools or private schools have a specific academic theme. So you might have went to a charter school for engineering. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I went to like a charter school that was specifically about college readiness.
Okay.
So,
a college preparatory school. So I would look for generic scholarships related to college preparatory academic.
Okay.
Yeah. Or probably more than that, something of your self-interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I remember my question.
Okay.
Okay, so I was wondering if we apply to scholarships like right now before we get our official acceptances and we apply using a college and then we don't get into that college, do we still qualify for the scholarship?
Yes, as long as it didn't come from that particular college. Okay. So if you want to go to Bennett and you call Bennett and ask them if they had a specific scholarship for their students, and then you not go to Bennett, then that money don't follow you. But if you apply for it, like if you go on his United Negro College Fund website and you apply for college and your intention is to go to Howard, but then you get accepted to Spelman, that money will follow you to Spelman, right? Also, I want you to know that if you win scholarship money and it's for you specifically, not intended for a specific school, and say you get a full ride, say you get 2 scholarships that's full ride, and this is money specifically for you, but you don't There's scholarships where you don't actually get the cash. It's only going to be paid out to that school. So say, for instance, you get a scholarship and you have enough money to pay for Howard and you have money left over. That money left over, you could give it to your girlfriend and she could go to Howard with you. Because it's there, it's yours. You just have to spend it on education. The young lady who's a twin, or if any of you have siblings, so say for instance, you have a sibling that's already in a historical Black college and you want to go to that same college, then you all need to contact that college and see if they have sibling discounts. So for instance, this is not a historical Black college. George Washington has a program for multiples. So you could be twins or you could just be a sibling. And if you all both go to that college, then you get half price off of one student. So the young lady who's a twin, you have to ask that college, do you have twin discounts? Or do you have a twin scholarship? Or do you have multiple sibling discounts? Because they have it, but you have to ask for it.
Hi, my question, it already has the answer, but I can ask another one. So when I go on my school's website, the university that I want to attend, and I look up the scholarships that they offer, it's just showing me the scholarships that they offer, but it's not showing me where I can apply to them yet. Can I search up my school plus the scholarship and see if that I can apply right there, or
if you go to your school's website and they are giving you titles of scholarships that will be available for you to apply to, whatever the title of that scholarship, do a Google search on that title of that scholarship name and see if you could find the application for it. If not, contact that school financial office and ask them about you applying for that scholarship. A lot of universities, depending on which ones, the websites are pretty different. Some of them you could search on their website in the application or under scholarships, and you could apply then. But some of them may not become available until you are accepted to that school.
Okay.
So they may be giving you the name of it, but you may not be getting a link to the application until you are accepted. So you probably need to reach out to the financial office. Okay. And I always say call and email the financial office.
My last question, when you brought up the sibling thing, if I were to call the school and I had a sibling go to that school beforehand, but they've already graduated, would those discounts still be applied if that school happens to have any?
I would probably say no, but I always say always ask.
Okay.
Always ask the question. Because they might tell you of something else that they have available, or they may remember your sibling, and just based on maybe their academic standard, they may say, "Oh, we could offer you something else."
Okay, thank you.
And ask your sibling, if your sibling went to a school, ask your sibling who were those professors or who was the people in the financial office or academic offices that they may have built relationships with, and put you in contact with them. This is all about relationships and relationship building.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So here is Imani and Sierra. I just want to name a few of the scholarships that they received. Some of these were through the United Negro College Scholarship Fund, but it's the Anthony Anderson Award. Beth Shalom Zion AME Church, they received a reward every year from their freshman year all the way through their senior year. They received laptops from their high school as well as from their church. Bennett Achievement Scholarship, Bennett College for being on the Dean list, money for being on the honors list, Coca-Cola and Walmart Scholarship, Fairlawn Education Fund, that's an HOA, from Foot Locker. They received numerous academic honor society awards. I don't even remember this one, M.A. Shana N Scholarship. I don't even remember that at all. Or the next one, I guess, Pepsi Cola. They received numerous scholarships from United Negro College Fund for being so studious in applying for other scholarships. Then they got honored and then also requested to be ambassadors for United Negro College Fund, which they had opportunity to be on the panel with Oprah Winfrey in regards to supporting United Negro College Fund. They also went to Jack and Jill fundraisers. The other twin, Sierra, she also received Anthony Anderson Scholarship, some of the same that I already mentioned. She also received a Michael Jackson Scholarship. Celebrities have plenty of money and plenty of scholarships, from Tiger Woods to, oh gosh, to, I can't think of the name. Even Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown. I'm trying to think of some of the younger people. But there's scholarships, and a lot musicians have a lot of scholarships. You could Google their name and put scholarship and see what come up, because this is a way that they get tax breaks and give back to the community by having scholarships in their names. The last thing that I want to share with you is that once you get in college, build relationships and sign up for national memberships. When you sign up for different memberships, that also is an avenue for you to get more scholarship money or recognition for the work that you do. So for instance, if you're interested in psychology, sign up for the psychology club. Sign up to be activist on campus. Do publications. If you write articles for the school newspaper. Try to sign up for as many things at your school as possible. You want to really be involved in your school activities. The more you are involved socially in clubs and activities at school, the more likely you stay in school. That's all I have. Oh, I can't hear that clapping. Y'all on mute.
I'm about to say, well, thank you, Miss Carey, for joining the session today, and blessing the girls with so much great information that, you know, it may seem simple for some things, but it's like some people just aren't thinking about it. And this is your second year doing this. This is always one of our first workshops and has so much power and carries so much weight. We definitely appreciate it. I'll be sure to share your information and the presentation with the contestants. And as always, you know, some of the girls do reach out to connect with you for your insight.
Right. Please do. I really mean that. This year, I'm part of several book clubs, and the word that I had to choose for what I was going to represent this year was steward. And what I mean by that is that this year I'm going to be spending a lot of time giving back to the community. Next month, I'll be doing the House of Ruth, which is an organization for women and children for abused households. And so me being a steward is bringing or giving of myself. And I don't have a lot of time, but if you email me, I will be willing to give of myself to you and to support you however I can. I've just become so fond of Daryl. He just made me have to be his friend. Of all the questioning from 3 years ago when he was pulling this together. And so I am a supporter. And this year I'm really proud and happy to be a board member, and I will do the work to support you all for whatever it is that I do. I wish you much success, and most of all, I wish you financial freedom. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mama Carey.
All right. Bye-bye.
Share what you learned from this experience and this workshop.
I did learn a lot of stuff that I did not know, and that was very helpful. Like, I didn't know that I could still do scholarships even after my senior year of high school, like just continue to do the same scholarships that I already received before. I did not know that, so that was good to touch base with. That was something I needed to know.
Okay, love to hear it.
And one thing that I really liked about this workshop was in the beginning when she was talking about the importance of thinking about different aspects of what you do. So a lot of the scholarships that I've recently been applying for have been for like entrepreneurship and community service. But when she started talking about like being a firstborn daughter or having an interest in public speaking or something that just aligns with your interests as opposed to the things that you've done or things that are on your resume, that was helpful in terms of me thinking of different scholarships that I can apply for moving forward.
When she was talking about our essays that we write, and like she said like show your humanity, and that really stood out to me, because doing essays when it comes to being personal is something I'm not the best at, because I'm not one of those people that likes to share that much about my personal life. But she made me realize that that's something that people are actually interested in when it comes to things like this, and that it actually can change whether or not it could make or break whether or not you get a scholarship in certain situations. So I think after today, like I've gotten a lot of emails and stuff for like essay scholarships and writing myself, but I never did it because I didn't know how to, and I didn't know what I would say. But I think now after this, I'll feel slightly more comfortable doing it and actually like telling my story. So
Yes.
I really like how she talked about researching like corporations like McDonald's or Burger King or Foot Locker. Like you wouldn't think that they would offer scholarships, but they actually do. So I really like that she brought that up, because I feel like I'm about to do a whole bunch of research now. And then 2, I really like how she talked about saving essays, because like I've applied to a couple scholarships and they do ask a lot of the same questions. So it's kind of like you can tweak here and there, and it makes it so much quicker to actually apply for a scholarship, and it saves so much time. So that was a really good tip. And then also, I just like wanted to give everyone else a tip, but the other day I signed into my bank account, like my online banking, and I got a notification that like they have a couple scholarships. So like if you're like, I don't know, if you like have an online banking system, or if you bank like with a specific I don't know, like corporation, I'm not sure what to call it, they might actually offer some scholarships that you should like look into.
One thing that I did learn was about the thank you notes. And my mom, she's really big on like, you need to tell these people thank you. And I'm like, they don't even know me. Why would I do that? But she reassured me like, yes, the thank you notes are just as important as essays. And the celebrity scholarships, I didn't know about Jackie Robinson, but like, I didn't know that Nicki Minaj had one. I didn't know that, what she say? Michael Jackson had one. That's interesting. And what Janiyah said about like Foot Locker and McDonald's, I really want to, start looking into more scholarships.
Listen, we knew that this workshop was going to be one that you all picked a lot up from. Yeah, you have the resources and connections and network right here.
Thank you so much, Carey.